I think I want to be an interior decorator. When I was little, I used to, my mom said clean up the house. I used to move everything around. I used to change the whole living room up and throw away a lot of stuff. And when I was young, I said the last job I'm probably gonna have is an interior decorator. I want to spend other people's money and make it look great. Make it look great. My name is Dwayne Shaw. I'm the executive director of Heads Up for Our Youth, and this is my life reimagined. My father was a gospel quartet guitarist and manager for a group. And so I saw people rehearsing all the time in my house, and I would travel with my father when he would go to programs to play, and I would meet a lot of the artists that were on the card. So that was very intriguing and inspirational to me. I played in church as well. Played the drums and played the bass guitar, started taking bass lessons. That's kind of where the music started for me, very, very young. And my father taught us how to play the guitar by ear. We moved from New Jersey to Yanceyville, North Carolina. And, I was inside of my house and I heard someone outside, rapping. And so I went out on my porch and I saw him and I just kind of watched him. And once he was finished rapping, he was excited and he started making these ticks, like, it was kind of strange, but once that happened, I just went back in the house. But over time, I hear it again, coming from far off. And it was this kid, that was, he had Tourette's syndrome. He became really good friends with my brother, my little brother. I noticed that he could rap. And he started showing me some of his rhymes. So I said, what y'all need to do is probably form a group or something. Just giving them something to do because there's nothing to do there. And they started doing that and I started just training them and, getting into it that way. And people started to know that I was helping them. And that's where it just kind of took off from there. By this time, I'm probably like 20, 21. And I started throwing parties. And at that point, it put me into a space where I started meeting older professionals. And so that took me to another level, meaning like, okay, you're not just in your community with the young kids, you're actually someone who can rent out a venue and, you're dealing with the promoters and the owners of the buildings. Learning all of those different things, it kind of turned into a business over time because other people wanted me to do for them what I was doing for myself and other artists. At this point, I probably was like 35. And at that time I was married and had young children and I had different artists coming into the house. I had Gunplay and Project Pat and these different artists, Dub C, and all of that was cool. But it came at a point in my life where it didn't mean the same. And it was kind of tapping on me a little bit like, you got to find a transition. I started looking at something that I could still help people and still network because that's what I love. So I decided to get into barbering. So I went to barbering school. I wanted to start my own barbershop, but I wanted to learn the industry. 1,528 hours is a long time, so things do change. And it didn't look like my plan was gonna come together until we did a project in school. And when I went to present my idea, people were looking at it. I had business cards that I handed out to everybody, and they was like, this is real. So one of the instructors from another class heard about it, and they wanted me to present it to the school. And it was there where he offered me an opportunity to partner with him. We decided to start a nonprofit organization because you would see a mom come in with 3 kids. She can't pay $60 a week or every other week for these children. So, it was one of those things like we said, we have to start something where we can kind of pass the buck on somewhere else so that those children will be able to get haircuts. I noticed that most barbers rented. They didn't own a lot of times. So my thing was to find out more about the real estate business and how could we come together and maybe form some sort of venture capitalist group or some kind of investment group where we can actually start to buy and own real estate. So I decided to get my license and educate myself and share that information with my barber brothers. All the different ideas that I had coming up, my mother tried to help facilitate it. She helped me start my first business when I was 12. So Heads Up for Our Youth is like near and dear to my heart, man. Knowing that a lot of children suffer from the inability to be able to afford basic school supplies going back to school. So if you start off behind the 8 ball, more likely you're not gonna, be able to compete. So we wanted to start to provide book bags and reduce the financial obligation on the parents when it's time to go back to school. Last year we did 973 book bags, which is down a little bit from the previous year, which was 1,011 book bags. But I'm going to be extra ambitious. We're going to do 1,500 book bags in Greensboro. We're going to expand and amplify this effort into Charlotte, and we're going to try to do 1,000 there. We had to figure out how to get the kids in there, and the kids love basketball, so we started giving away free basketball clinic, skills and drills clinics, and we had to service the girls, so we started doing cheer clinics inside of the back to school rally. So when you come, it's this big experience, and we bring music back because we got the DJ, in there. We have dance contests. We have a charity basketball game between the Cops and Barbers. It's the Cops and Barbers charity basketball game. So at this point, it just started to get fun to me. Dwayne Shaw. So he's 3 years younger than me, but once you get about 15 and 12, y'all start getting close in age, size, and all that stuff. So, it's just my guy right there. Do anything for him, protect him, give him advice, let him learn things on his own, but just watching his back, But he was a DJ, and his friends would rap, with the mic and all that. So he really helped me a lot. And suddenly he passed away, and it was like gasoline was thrown on it. It was like I had to use everything I had left to do everything that I want, because it was a reminder that, time waits for nobody. People couldn't understand. I had a board meeting that night. I did it, and I didn't look back. But I had one of the biggest years in 2023 as a result of the fire that, that just was raging in me to make sure that I made him proud. 4 months after that, my cousin died, and he was my first brother. You know what I'm saying? When you have those cousins where you're born first in the family, then the sister has another son, and then so it's me and him, and then my brother came, But this guy's younger than me too, and he passed away too. So it's just like, what's going on? And like I said, it makes you question, so what's my purpose? Why not me? I'm older. If we're going in order, why not me, right? And it's obvious that, you're here for a reason, and you need to start fulfilling your purpose. I would say look back over your life and categorize the things that were consistent, the things that just kept playing over and over and over again. As much as I wanted to run from music, it was still there. As much as I wanted to run from speaking, it was still there, right? I would say take it all and wrap it all up. And if you can't come up with something on your own, partner with somebody, because there's value in collaboration. There's value in merging, and God only made one you. And I think that it's important for us to understand that, especially in our later years, because at any given time, it can be over. And if you did not do what God put you here to do, then other people missed an opportunity. You got a long road ahead of you, and it's going to be exciting. It's going to be very, very exciting.